I'm about to go to court, and I don't even know what I did wrong. Yeah, Bricks and Minifigs is making up tons of lies about me to the police to try to get me thrown in jail so I can't release my documentary about them. But the crazy part is I'm not even allowed to know what they're saying I did, legally. I'm not allowed to film inside court, so thrown in jail so I can't release my documentary about them. But the crazy part is I'm not even allowed to know what they're saying I did. Legally, I'm not allowed to film inside court, so I formally requested the audio, but since there was no visual, I hired film inside court. So I formally requested the audio, but since there was no visual, I hired an animator to animate over it. Right now, I kind of don't even know what I'm being charged for because all of the body cam footage has been redacted, and they say it's to protect the victims. However, I think there are some redactions that maybe don't make sense and that weren't to protect the victims, and there's some things being said about me that are redacted that I don't know about.
I do have some concern in this case with the defendant representing himself. The allegations here relate to the fact that the defendant, he's a person he's a YouTuber, creates videos, publishes them online, and has been, if this defendant were to represent himself and we were to provide body cams and discovery, we would be now providing additional information and fodder for this defendant to create videos from which he could profit by placing them on YouTube at the expense of our victim. I have serious concerns for that.
Yeah, the state of Utah is claiming that if they tell me what I'm being accused of, then I'll use it for content on my YouTube channel. And they can't have that. They're arguing to the judge that the best thing to do is to not let me know what's being said about me, which is very strange, but that's their argument. And just in case you haven't been following along with this whole Lego story, this is all happening because I stepped in to help a family who got their Lego collection stolen from a company called Bricks and Minifigs. And for the last couple months, this company's been doing whatever they can to get me arrested so they can keep all the Legos for themselves. And this isn't even just me speculating. One of their own employees literally told us what their plan was.
I got a call from my boss and it was like, how do we get them arrested? How do we get them arrested?
But eventually, Bricks and Minifigs found out that I'm not just some random kid. I'm actually a YouTuber making a documentary on the entire scandal.
So the YouTube guy is named Reckless Ben. I don't want to be on YouTube.
Yeah, this is when things really started getting crazy. Bricks and Minifigs went into ultimate defense mode and was going to do whatever it takes to prevent this documentary from coming out. First, the police got a call saying I had heroin on me.
This officer is going to conduct a search of your person because there substances in the vehicle.
And obviously, they found nothing. But then they got a call saying that I was the one that stole the Legos. And I got swatted by the entire police department.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
And we all got arrested. But right when I got out of jail, I got a warrant for my arrest for some mystery crime that I committed.
It seems like this guy might live in LA, or his last known address is in LA.
Yeah, the police showed up to my house all the way in Los Angeles to arrest me without bail.
He was like, just tell him he has He has a warrant for his arrest.
But the police couldn't arrest me.
Any idea where he actually is?
No idea.
Okay.
I was somewhere very far away. But anyways, back to court. The judge is looking at signing a protective order to protect Josh and all of his statements about me. If this protective order gets signed, then I'll never be able to find out what he's claiming I did.
I got bad news. I don't think we have any more budget for animation, dude.
Oh, shoot. So how do we animate this next court scene? I guess if we have to not pay the lawyers, then I guess the animation's more important, right? Yeah, we decided maybe the lawyers are actually more important. So, yeah, we ran out of animation budget. Sorry, guys.
The court's inclined to sign this pretrial protective order unless you have an objection to it, Mr. Schneider, and the objection to such an order.
Yes, I think there's a bunch of misunderstandings in this case. And so this person doesn't want to get exposed. So he's making up a lot of lies about me to order to get me arrested before he gets exposed. So that's what this whole thing's about. However, before I was allowed to show any of the overwhelming evidence I have to support my claims, the judge didn't care about the evidence and signed the protective order anyways.
Mr. Schneider, the court's going to sign this order and serve it upon you.
So the court has made it clear. They do not want to look at the evidence and they want to protect Josh and Brandon for some reason. And now I have to somehow fight a court case against all of these mystery crimes against me that I have no clue what they're even saying I did. So this whole mess is happening in American Fork, Utah. But I'm also being charged with another case in Provo, Utah. This is where corporate bricks and minifigs is, which is why I'm also being charged here. And this police department has surprisingly actually followed the law when it comes to discovery, and they sent me all the raw body cam footage of what I'm being charged for. Let's start at the beginning, the moment I first met the CEO. The reason I'm talking to him right now is because before exposing this company for the grand theft they committed, I thought it was in good faith to give them an opportunity to do the right thing first before I make a documentary about this. You had like $200,000 worth of Legos in your store?
Nope. Never happened.
But the CEO did not want to take the opportunity to do the right thing and instead instantly called the cops on us.
Hi there, I'm calling to report a crime.
They themselves say, hey, you guys stole this product from this person. If you don't give it back, I'm going to burn the place down. Or we're going to burn the place down. Or I'll kill you. It's Ben Snyder who's been the one engaged in this behavior.
You can see in the police report that the crime he wanted to get us charged for is called extortion, which basically means we're threatening him into paying us, which is very illegal. However, obviously he's just making all of this up. The reality is, I just thought it was a nice gesture to give him the opportunity to do the right thing first. If you guys do have our Legos, we just kind of want them back, you know? But if there's one thing I've learned from this entire experience, it's that whoever ends up doing the morally right thing just ends up getting screwed over. So now it's time to play the way Bricks and Minifigs is playing and use their own strategy against them. Right now, their strategy is to get me arrested before I get them arrested. So now I'm gonna Uno reverse this and get Eamon, the CEO, arrested before he gets me arrested. But if I'm gonna be the reason that someone's going to jail, I should probably make sure that they definitely deserve this. So I'm gonna give them one more chance to try to do the right thing first. But instead of doing the right thing and attempting to work this out, Eamon just hid in his little office. And he called the police on me.
I can already tell you right now, no one's coming out to talk to you guys.
Really? But they told us that they were.
I know.
Normally I wouldn't want to get someone arrested, but we gave him every opportunity to talk to us, so at this point, he's just arresting himself. However, the only difference between my strategy and Bricks and Minifigs' strategy is I don't have to lie to the police. Eamon McNeff actually committed a crime. I have tons of crimes on camera that Eamon McNeff has committed. Let's start at the beginning with crime number 1.
So what's going on?
So you guys are holding some of our Legos?
No, we're not.
You're not?
No. So who's
Brian Mansell.
Okay, and who's that?
He's a guy who had he had like $200,000 worth of Legos in your guys' store.
Nope. Never happened.
Eamon was first trying to claim that he's never even heard of Brian Mansell, and this guy definitely never had any Legos in a Bricks and Minifigs store. But once we showed him all of the social media posts his own company made, it was very obvious that we just caught him in a lie. So the CEO decided to change his story, and now the story is the Legos used to be in the store, but the previous owner, Crystal, she stole the Legos right before they took over the store.
We don't have the Lego. Crystal sold the Lego.
The only problem is their security camera footage of the previous owner getting kicked out.
These are ones that he has not been paid his percentage yet. And if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay him.
That's a business thing and not necessarily yours. He's taking on the business, he takes on all that consignment liability.
Corporate just said that they're going to be the ones to take over the consignment deal with all the Legos that are still in the store. And as extra proof that these Lego sets were still in the store, the owner went into the back and started taking pictures of everything that you can verify in the metadata with the timestamps that match the exact moment she's getting kicked out. And then you can see her leave the store with nothing in her hands, proving that the sets were still in the store and the CEO is lying to us right now. But that's only one side of the story. I also thought it was fair to hear his side. You sent a bunch of pictures of the Lego still in the back, and you can see in the security camera footage, corporate comes and throws her out.
Great. I understand what you're talking about, but you have a misunderstanding of what has occurred, and you're taking one person's word over another person's word. You need to go after the party that's responsible, and you don't want to because that's not easy. You have accepted a narrative that is not real, and you are continuing to pursue that narrative because it's easy and it gives you views and it gives you all sorts of clout and does all sorts of things that way.
So basically what the CEO is trying to explain to me is we shouldn't be looking at the evidence. Instead, I should just be taking his word for it because he said so.
Crystal Law was a former franchisee of Bricks and Minifigs.
Yeah.
She took Mr. Mansell's Lego, sold it, didn't pay him, she has his money. But she sold his Lego, she has his money.
To make it easier for you guys to understand the CEO's argument, we're going to demonstrate his argument with a little skit.
Oh, that wasn't a backflip. No.
Oh, are you sure?
You have a misunderstanding of what happened.
Yes, this is the exact argument the CEO is trying to make. Something we just saw in video, the CEO is saying never happened, which would mean the CEO's lying. And most people would agree that lying is morally wrong. However, if you lie about a crime, the way Eamon's lying to me right now, then that's not just morally wrong anymore. That crosses into new territory called illegal. The specific crime is called obstruction. If someone commits this crime, they can get arrested. We're at the police station, and we're going to charge them with a criminal crime, obstructing of evidence of a $200,000 theft. And good news for us, we found out last week that all of the police in Utah take obstruction very seriously here. The police arrested my friend Sheldon for obstruction just for locking his phone.
Right now you're attempting to destroy evidence. Okay, put your hands behind your back.
I was just locking my phone.
You're under arrest for obstruction of evidence right now.
The crazy part is, the police didn't even have a warrant, so Sheldon locking his phone was 100% legal. But the police arrested him anyways because that's literally how serious the police take obstruction crimes here. They do not mess around when it comes to obstruction. So now, just imagine how angry the police are gonna be when I go into the police station and tell them that someone is actually, for real this time, committing an obstruction crime. And this obstruction crime is on a much bigger scale. Later, the police called me saying that they were going to do a police investigation on this.
Hey, Benjamin, this is Officer Halpern from Provo Police.
I told the detective the entire situation. He was saying that this family's Lego sets were never even in the store, like all of this stuff, and it's all documented. I have video of all of him saying this. I think he's like falsifying evidence, and I think that's obstruction. And now that we stole Bricks and Minifigs' strategy, I think the plan is finally going to work. Looks like the CEO is going down. I mean, I submitted the videos of Eamon saying we're gonna burn down the building and shoot him.
They themselves say, hey, you guys stole this product from this person. If you don't give it back, I'm gonna burn the place down. Or we're gonna burn the place down. Or I'll kill you.
And then I submitted all the raw footage of the entire conversation I had with him, proving to the police that we never even said anything close to this. This raw footage verifies that everything I told the police is true, and everything Eamon told the police is a lie. On top of that, I even got access to the complete case Eamon made against me, and he doesn't have a single piece of evidence to support any of his claims. Which I guess makes sense. Like, how can you support evidence if you're just making everything up? Like, of course you can't submit anything. So if the police have to decide what case to pursue, they're obviously going to pursue this case because it has like a ton of evidence. And then they're going to throw out Eamon's case that has no evidence at all.
The person you're trying to reach is not available.
Hello, my name is Ben Schneider. A couple months ago I made a case and you were the officer that was helping me create it. I submitted a bunch of evidence through a link you sent me, and this was a couple months ago, and I haven't heard anything back. And so I'm just calling to see if I can get some type of update on how the case is going. It's about the CEO, Eamon McNeff of Bricks and Minifigs, in an obstruction case. And so if you could give me a call back at your earliest convenience, that'd be awesome.
We're sorry, your call cannot be completed.
Yeah, literally no matter what I tried, I could not get a hold of this police officer. So I'm traveling all the way back to Utah to go back to the Provo police station in person to see how the police investigation against Eamon is going. And I just so happened to get a hold of the police schedule and arrived at the exact time this officer was supposed to arrive. But before I could speak to this officer, one of the other police officers called into the front desk and asked to talk to me.
I'm not seeing him on duty right now.
Really? They said he was going to be here today at 3 o'clock.
There's always the chance that they might have called out sick or something.
Is there any way that you can, like, check if he's here, or?
He's definitely scheduled to be here. Like I said, they might have called out sick or something.
Are you able to look and see how the case is going? All I really want is kind of just an update on the case.
That's not something that I can tell you over the phone.
Okay, you can't even just tell me like how it's going, like if he's still looking into it, or?
No, I can't. That's not something I can do.
Okay, well thank you.
So basically I came all the way out here to find 0 answers, but eventually I did find an answer. They sent it to me in the mail, and looks like I was right. The police only had time to take on one of our cases, and it was Eamon's, not mine. Yes, the case that had an overwhelming amount of evidence, they thought that case was garbage. And they took on the case that has 0 evidence at all. In the police body cam footage, after the police watched my full conversation, proving that I didn't threaten to burn the place down or literally anything, they even admitted to Eamon that there was no credibility with his entire case against me.
We agreed that there really was no extortion code that would fit your situation. However, you know, at the end of the day, we do want to help you guys so you're not having to deal with this fool and all of his issues. We did find that there was another code that fit, and it's called aggravated commercial obstruction.
The police just told Eamon that even though there's absolutely nothing to his claim against me, if they work together, maybe they can fabricate some type of charge against me.
However, the tricky thing is that we have to prove that this individual either entered or remains unlawfully on the premise. When he came to the property, did you have to ask him more than once to leave?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, we're not leaving until we get it. And he's like, no. Like,
so Eamon's telling the police that even though they continuously told us to leave, we didn't leave. But if we go back and look at the footage of what happened, this is the reality.
So when they say go to corporate, how do we respond next time?
I have no idea. You have to take it up with them. It's your thing with them. That doesn't involve us. Okay. As a separate business entity, you got to take it up with them. You got to resolve it with them.
Okay. Well, thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Good luck.
Sweet. Thank you.
Hey, do you want to talk to them? They're on their way out. If you want me to grab them or not?
I don't know. It kind of looks like the reality of what happened is we left too early for them. They wanted to pull us back in to keep talking to us. But we did show back up a second time, and to Eamon's credit, about halfway through the conversation, he did say that if we don't leave, he's going to call the cops on us.
You can leave. If you come back here, we will call the cops. If you don't leave right now, I will call the cops.
So you don't want to do the easy way?
And this is right after I told him you could do it either the easy way and just give us the Legos back, or we can do it the hard way, implying that we would take him to court.
So you're threatening me.
I'm not threatening. We're right. Like, we have a right to the Legos, so we're gonna get them the easy way or the hard way.
What proof of ownership have you provided to me that you own this Lego?
I mean, I can give you proof if you want.
Right, provide proof.
But right after he says this, he's now asking us to provide him proof that we actually are entitled to these Legos, so we can't leave now because he just told us to stay and provide proof. And then at the very end of the conversation, he says this one more time.
Okay, you've been asked to leave. Please leave.
We have to leave? Okay. Well, thank you for working with us, and so see you later.
Well, we have now all just seen the video footage of what actually happened. But now let's hear how Ammon describes it to the police.
Guys, at this point, I've asked you to leave. Please leave. Well, we you know, like, you have to listen to us. You have to pay us this money. No, guys, you need to leave, and you're not leaving. Like, but I asked multiple times, they did not leave.
Looks like that might be a second-degree felony. He's facing felony charges. It is a felony?
Yes, because I went to the corporate headquarters and tried to give Ammon the easy way out of all of this, they're now trying to get me on a second-degree felony, which I don't really know how any of this would make me get a second-degree felony. Like, what the heck, police officers? But they're doing it, and the punishment for this crime is 15 years in jail.
I don't know, like however else, like some of that stuff comes through, but like the reality is, like, we've tried to talk with him and said, we're willing to work with you.
Yeah, I think one of the main reasons the police keep taking Ammon's side instead of ours, besides the whole Mormon thing, is that Ammon keeps framing the situation as he's just the helpful CEO who's trying to do the right thing and return Brian's property. And we're the ones that are preventing him from giving it back to Brian. So I say we rewatch the footage and see what actually happened.
We said we would be more than happy to help Mr. Mansell.
Yeah, because Brian said
he was unwilling to work with us.
Well, Brian said he asked for the store inventory, and that because he said like he wanted to work with you, and then you guys didn't provide the store inventory.
We asked him to provide us with any documentation, and he provided us with a spreadsheet. A spreadsheet is not something that anybody, you can just walk over to a McDonald's right now and say, all of your ice cream machines belong to me. Why? Because so-and-so said so. And I have a spreadsheet that says that all these ice cream machines belong to me. That's not proof of ownership, that's not proof of anything.
So first off, this spreadsheet Ammon's referring to wasn't just some mystery spreadsheet, it was the actual inventory the store made. But I guess Ammon's trying to claim that the previous owner stole the Legos and then lied on the inventory, and so now it basically makes this inventory invalid. He said that when corporate was taking over the store, that they actually did their own inventory, and this is the correct inventory.
When we took over, we did an inventory.
And good news for me, he's willing to give me this inventory. He's actually always been willing to give it to me or Brian. All we've ever had to do was ask.
We will work with you to obtain any Lego that does exist.
Well, we did that, and you guys.
When?
I think like 5 or 6 times, and we've gotten 0 response back.
Yeah, literally the first thing I did right when I heard about this entire situation was I googled Bricks and Minifigs, clicked on their website, clicked contact us, and sent them a message. I actually got a message back from corporate saying that they would love to help, but after a few months, I kept trying to reply to this message, and they just completely ghosted me.
When?
I think we've done like 6 over the last 4 or 5 months.
Pull it up. Find out. Tell me when.
Let's see. I said like, hey, I don't think this ever got resolved. I'm just reaching back out right now, and then never.
Hit forward right now. Resend it.
What's the email?
That is I don't know what email address that is.
This was on your guys' website.
That says fbc.team. I said franchise@bricksandminifigs.com.
Well, this is just on the website, so.
Did I tell you look up something on the website and send it there?
Well.
Did I say that? Just barely.
Well, that's what.
Yes or no? Did I say that?
No.
I just said send me an email to franchise@bricksandminifigs.com. And we will work with that.
But you're getting mad at me because I emailed the email on the website?
You keep saying that you I understand that, but I'm telling you right now, and you're trying to argue on something that I didn't give you any information about. I'm telling you, send it to that one.
Yeah, but you're like getting upset at us that we emailed the email that was on your website.
No, I'm telling you the way to do this, and you've been probably trying to communicate with a ghost.
Well, that's your guys' fault for putting that email on the website.
Sure. Okay. Understood.
Ben, so why are you getting mad at us because we emailed the website for your instructions?
Because you continue to harass us for all sorts of things. I'm not getting mad at you.
Well, we're not harassing. We're just asking for our Legos back. If someone stole money from you and you went and politely asked for the money back, is that you harassing them?
It seems like Ammon kept either trying to stall or switch the subject. It almost seems like he doesn't want to actually give us this inventory. But he keeps saying he's willing to give it to us.
You guys can send that inventory list to us?
I do believe so, yes. I think we have sent that to Brian.
He says he said that's all he wants is the inventory list, and he'll stop like bugging you guys.
Well, then, Mr. Mansell and you, and if you want to be included on the emails with Mr. Mansell, that's totally fine. You guys can email us, and we can go
But
back
you guys will give him the inventory list? Because he said he's been asking for it for over a year now.
We can show the inventory list that was obtained when the store was originally taken over from Crystal Law, and we can work through that process and try and identify what was or wasn't there, and also try and identify how to proceed from there.
Yeah, I think Brian gets upset because he says they always say that they'll send me the list, kind of like how you're saying, oh, we can send it easily, but then when it comes down to it, you'll never actually send it. So maybe if you actually go ahead and send it, it would make him feel better.
Well, I understand what you're trying to get at. We're more than willing to work with you and help you. That's what I'm saying. Send an email to that email address that I just gave to you, and that will produce results.
Anyways, I sent an email to the email he told me about, not the one on their website. That's a bad email. Don't ever email that one or the CEO is going to be pissed. But according to Ammon, now that I've sent this email, I should be receiving the inventory list very soon. So I waited all day. And I got no answer. So the next day I sent them another email. I patiently waited again for about a week. And finally,
this is the response. Mr. Schneider, BAM Franchising Incorporation will not participate in any form of communication that appears designed for public provocation, harassment, or manipulation of facts for the purpose of media content. Attempts to obtain privileged or confidential information through misrepresentation or the creation of fraudulent documents. Just for me asking for this inventory list to prove their innocence, because I want to give them benefit of the doubt. I want to be like, hey, if you're innocent, I want to prove that you're innocent with this inventory list. But now, by me trying to do that, that's criminal behavior on my part. And considered harassment. And we reserve all rights to refer such behavior to appropriate legal authorities. It's AKA the cops. So don't ask for our inventory list or else we're going to call the cops.
yes, Bricks and Minifigs has officially banned me from ever asking for this inventory list again. And I'm not the only one who's banned from asking for this list.
He promised us a full inventory right away. We've never received it.
Yeah, and every time it's been just absolutely nothing. So we've never gotten anything. We've never gotten an inventory list.
Yeah, the previous owner who got her entire store stolen from her by corporate, I mean, she's legally required to get sent an inventory list, and even she, 2 years later, has not gotten it yet.
It would have resolved everything because they would have had to identify everything in the store, and it would have identified all of Brian's stuff, and they never provided it, so we couldn't then demand the third-party evaluation.
And it's now, what, a year and a half later?
You know, who knows what.
Still no inventory.
Dang.
So would have solved a lot of problems a year and a half ago to go, here's the inventory.
And even Brian still hasn't received this inventory list yet.
I've never received an inventory list. I've never received a record of sales because they can't provide it. They opened the store up almost right away and started selling it.
And the worst part about all of this is it seems like the CEO is pretty much just trying to rub all of this in everyone's face. When I turned on the news, I saw this.
Now, as far as offering Brian the inventory, have you gone through the store, figured out what was part of his collection, taken inventory and shown him that inventory to offer that?
We've tried to share those with Mr. Mansell in hopes that he can see, you know, like that we were not attempting in any way, shape, or form to withhold anything. Those then were offered to him, and the initial offer was rejected.
So now on public television, Ammon, the CEO, is telling the world that he tried to give us this inventory, but we're the ones that didn't want it.
We do want to help him recover as much of the collection Our number one priority right now is to ensure that he gets made whole. We know that we have a responsibility to work with him to make sure he does get made whole.
So you've offered Brian the inventory of sets that was in the store.
Yeah, whatever was left over, we've offered that on multiple occasions. So we've tried to make multiple offers, and hopefully we'll be able to get them to the table so we can discuss it.
And this is pretty much Ammon's game plan now. Go on as many news stations as you can and lie.
The entire time we were saying, hey, we want to help, we want to help.
The main narrative now seems to be Bricks and Minifigs has always been trying to give Brian his Legos back, but Brian just never wanted them back.
Would you be willing to just take this? And the answer was no. It was attempted to be given to the family, and it was refused.
They made the offer and said, hey, you can have all this. And that offer was not accepted at the time.
Well, that's Ammon's side of the story, but I say let's take a look at what actually happened.
Read from the bottom up. That is our correspondence with Bricks and Minifigs, trying to work with them in getting the sets back.
So right when this happened, Brian hired an attorney to reach out to Bricks and Minifigs. They sent an email saying, how should we proceed to retake the possession of the sets/minifigures? And they actually emailed back saying they were willing to help. And then after this, they just never respond. So Brian's attorney sent them another email, just following up on this, when can we pick up the sets? And they still didn't respond. So the attorneys emailed back saying, it's now been 16 days, how can we get these Legos back? And finally, they received a response. It says Brandon Best and Joshua Johnson have no legal obligation to return any of the Lego product that exists in their store to you. What? So yeah, basically they're saying that they're the ones that are not able to work with you, is what it seems like.
Exactly.
They finished this email saying, we consider this matter closed and will not be returning any Lego products to you. So as you can see, that's the reality of what actually happened. But then Ammon goes on Fox News and says this.
So they actually did have an attorney send information to us. We said, great, appreciate this. Let's see what we can do to work this out. Yeah. And then we never heard back.
So why is Ammon going on like Fox News then and saying, we wanted to give Brian his stuff back. He's the one that didn't want his stuff back. He didn't want any of his things.
That's my point. I don't know. He's lying.
I truly do believe in integrity. Truly, I believe in the sentiment of integrity, and I believe everyone should have integrity.
But anyways, another thing the CEO seems to be pretty upset about is that when Brian kept demanding his stuff back and couldn't get it back, eventually he had enough. And he was like, I'm going to make a Facebook post about this. And in his Facebook post, he called Bricks and Minifigs thieves and liars. And this Facebook post, like, really pissed off Ammon. I mean, Bricks and Minifigs is literally suing Brian now for millions of dollars, all because of this. I mean, back when I was talking to him at corporate headquarters, he made it very clear that what they did is technically not actually considered theft.
There is no theft. Do you understand the legal definition of theft? Legally have to meet
So
the definition of knowing that the property was stolen or otherwise not belonging to that person.
And on my phone,
that was not known until Mr. Mansell came in days later and said, I have some of these things that need to be...
And that's another lie again, because...
It is not another lie.
So I showed Ammon the security camera footage where corporate acknowledges that they are now going to be responsible for these Lego Star Wars sets.
These are ones that he has not been paid his percentage yet. And if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay him.
That's a business thing and not necessarily yours. He's taking on the business, he takes on all that consignment liability.
And after showing him this footage to try to bring the conversation back to reality, this was his response.
Extortion?
Because we caught you guys?
No, because you are attempting to extort us, so that's what you're doing. What you are doing right now is illegal. It's an extortion.
So catching you guys in illegal activity, that's illegal on me.
Nope. We have done nothing.
See, I agree too. I agree. Nope, it's not illegal on us. Thank you for...
We have done nothing illegal, and you are doing something illegal right now.
I don't think that's illegal. I think us catching you guys for doing the illegal thing doesn't make that what we're doing is illegal. That means what you guys are doing is illegal.
Okay, you've been asked to leave. Please leave.
We have to leave? Yes. Okay. Well, thank you for working with us. And
After just going around in circles for probably 30 to 40 minutes, and just, you know, having like kind of less than genuine questions or less than genuine responses being given to me, you know, I was exasperated by the end of it. And that's, you know, like when people get tired and exasperated, that's when like, we finally got the footage that we can use to make him look like a completely unreasonable monster, you know, like, so, yeah. but that's what they do is, you know, people whose goal is to do those types of things, they just harass and go after people as long and hard as they can until somebody breaks and says something that, you know, then they can, you know, use that one clip to be like, oh, look at this horrible monster of a person. So that's what I feel like has kind of really happened here.
So Ammon's claiming that I just harassed him for 30 minutes and finally he got fed up with us, which that was the one clip at the end that I used in my documentary. So I say let's go to the very beginning of the footage, my first interaction with them, and see what actually happened.
So what's going on?
So you guys are holding some of our Legos?
No, we're not.
You're not?
No.
Yeah, literally from the very first sentence we ever exchanged with each other, Ammon's goal was just to lie to us. But anyways, I'm now starting to think that the only reason Ammon wanted us to email him about the inventory list wasn't actually give us the inventory list, but actually it was a trap. Yeah, Ammon only wanted me to email him so he can find out my email and subpoena Google and find out all of my private information. You think I'm lying, but they actually did this. They subpoenaed Google asking for all private information tied to this email address. And Google sent them like hundreds of hours of all the raw footage from everything I've filmed to the Lego video so far, all my emails, all my search history, all of the metadata that shows everywhere I've been. But anyways, this was the reaction of the police officer after she watched my entire first episode.
I'm really curious to see like if this fool even makes any money doing this YouTube stuff. I'm like, if it's enough for him to travel to another state just to go get some footage. It doesn't even sound like his like secret information doesn't even seem credible from my understanding.
No, so it sounds like you were able to watch the video.
I think by secret information, the police officer is referring to the security camera footage that proves that everything Bricks and Minifigs is saying is a lie. My first question is, how could this not be credible? It's literally just video evidence of what happened that night. But at least now I can see why the police aren't listening to me. They're basically just saying that all of the evidence I submit to them is not credible and therefore case closed. Ben's wrong and we're right because we said that the evidence is uncredible. At this point, Bricks and Minifigs is working with the police to just come up with whatever story they can to make any evidence I give them seem as uncredible as possible.
In all of his actions to just generate clicks and likes to get, you know, like social media clout without putting in work and just doing the crummy stuff.
Interesting.
He seems like a fun gentleman.
No. Oh, and you know,
his MO really seems to follow somebody who's like a paper tiger, right? Like who, like behind, you know, or like a keyboard warrior. They'll make threats.
And this is the craziest part of the video to me. Ammon's claiming that I'm a keyboard warrior. And a keyboard warrior is basically just someone who talks a lot of smack online, but then when it actually comes down to it, they won't do anything in person. Which, I mean, if we look back at the footage, I accomplished almost everything I set out to do. I didn't get scared of anything. If someone in this story is a keyboard warrior, I don't think it's me. I think it's Bricks and Minifigs. I mean, let's double check by looking at the footage. Ammon claims with his words that he can give us the inventory list.
We can show the inventory list.
But when it actually comes down to it, he's terrified to give it to anyone. Bricks and Minifigs this entire time has also just been begging me to sue them.
If you think it's illegal, why don't you sue me? Let's go to court. Sue me for us. Sue me. Let's go to court. Let's go to court then.
So when I finally go out and actually sue them, they close down their store. And now Bricks and Minifigs is going to absolute extreme lengths to hide from this lawsuit.
Are you okay if she just gives you the papers so we can just...
No, I'm not accepting service from her.
Okay.
I mean, Bricks and Minifigs is showing all of the signs of a keyboard warrior, but for some reason they think that I'm the keyboard warrior. At this point, it almost seems like everything Bricks and Minifigs is doing, for some reason they think that I'm the one that's the one doing it.
I'll keep my fingers crossed for you guys. Hopefully no more issues. There's so many other things that this guy could, like, be talking about, right?
No, 100%. But sometimes, you know, like, it's a sunk cost fallacy. They just think, oh, I put so much time and effort into this, I gotta make sure something happens. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, Ammon just completely proves my point. Obviously, I'm not suffering from the sunk cost fallacy at all. Ammon's the one suffering from the sunk cost fallacy. I mean, they literally already admitted to me that they've held onto the Legos for so long, it's not worth it for them to give it back to us anymore.
I'm not going to distribute those things at this point. We've kept them on hold for this long, so.
Let's see what else Bricks and Minifigs is accusing me of. Well, they're suing me for defamation. But this entire time, Bricks and Minifigs is actually the ones defaming me.
They themselves say, hey, you guys stole this product from this person. If you don't give it back, I'm going to burn the place down.
Let's go to the next thing Bricks and Minifigs is accusing me of. Extortion. When they're the ones actually extorting me by saying if I don't let them steal the Legos from us, they're going to make up a reason to throw me in jail.
You stole them, bitch.
I stole the Legos?
Yeah, you're a fucking thief.
Dang. Okay.
You can shut the fuck up. That's your fucking choice.
Bricks and Minifigs is also getting me for RICO charges.
They're charging Reckless Ben for RICO. I think it is more likely that the police are guilty of RICO, right?
And if you look at the CEO's previous businesses, he actually got sued for RICO. He's the one guilty of RICO, not me. They're also accusing me of sending a sniper to shoot out the windows of the McNeff house.
If you guys want to come to, you can see the window and see where. They were shooting from. It could be a sniper blade on the hill.
When the police got there, they realized it was actually
Hi dudes, I'm Brooke and I'm back with my dog because she will not get off my lap, which we love usually, but I am kind of trying to film right now. So say hello to Navy. Right, Navy is a very good girl, but she has been formally excused because we do have things to talk about today. So today I want to put you on to some TikTok drama that has been all over my For You page. And by all over my For You page, I mean I saw like 4 videos and then I seeked it out actively. But before we get into it, I wanted to say I was so excited to see that people actually watched my first video. I fully expected it to just be my family and friends watching, and to see that people actually had fun watching and, you know, going through the stories with me and whatever was so exciting. And I was so entertained by all the comments and everything like that. And I love you guys so much.
Go have fun with your 100 subscribers.
Thank you, Brent. I will. Without further ado, let's get into the lore that is this random TikTok drama. For those of you who go to a hairstylist or a barber to get your hair done, you know it can take a long time and a lot of trial and error to find the right person, right? And then once you find that right person, it's like you just don't want to ever go to anybody else again because, oh my God, I finally found the right person, whatever. At least that's how I've always felt with things like that. Like with, you know, you find the right nail person or you find the right eyelash person or tattoo artist or like any of these like creative jobs where people are making a change in your appearance. It's like, that's so important. And they kind of need to be like vibing with you in a certain way, but not for Miss Mackenzie Marie. She had been with this hairstylist, Kara, for 2 years, right? She's been going to Kara for 2 years and had a great relationship with her. She's always been happy with it. She gets what is essentially like chunky highlights right in the front, and they dye them teal. So for some reference and to brag, I am a licensed cosmetologist in the state of California. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I do have a little bit of insider insight to the situation in that I'm so smart and knowledgeable. So the way it started is that Mackenzie goes in to get her hair done, and there was an understanding between Mackenzie and Kara that this time she was going to get her full head done teal, which entails obviously you need to bleach the whole head of hair and then you need to put the vivid color on the teal. So what Kara said had happened is that when Mackenzie came in for the service, she had her boyfriend there to film it all, which she did already approve. That was fine. And Kara and Mackenzie got the idea, because Mackenzie is a popular YouTuber, that they could do a video where it was like a satire video. And the whole thing was, you know, I went to the worst hairstylist ever, or my hairstylist is crazy, or something to that effect, because Mackenzie commonly does these videos where it's like, I went to the worst rated nail salon, I went to the worst rated XYZ, or whatever, these like fake videos that a lot of those like types of YouTubers do. So she says that she was doing things purposefully to give Mackenzie a video that was like satirical and fun, and they were in on it together. So in the consultation, Kara had let Mackenzie know that because she's trying to go much lighter and get the teal on that day, instead of breaking this up into multiple days and trying to do it within like 3 hours or so, you kind of can't get like a perfect job and maintain the hair's integrity. That's just not really possible. All of this was talked about in the consultation, yada, yada, yada. So fast forward to, they have a great little appointment, whatever. And Mackenzie seemingly loves the hair. She has posted things showing that she was like into the hair.
That's why these chicks dye their hair and get all tatted. They're telling you how poisonous they are. Like poisonous frogs in the rainforest, they lurid bright colors to show you they're poisonous.
So then
Mackenzie
posts her YouTube video about her getting her hair done. And it starts with her in this like very dramatic hat, like covering her whole hair, and she's like, I got my hair done, blah, blah, blah. But then she like goes on to say what she wanted and yada, 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 and kind of like leading it on to be that it's going to be fine. And then like a minute or so in, switches to like literally the most dramatic. She burned all my hair off and she ruined my hair and like I have no hair left kind of like vibe. You guys, I went to a hairstylist and I got exactly what I asked for. Does anybody have the number for the cops?
My hairdresser, Kara, that I've trusted for the last 3 years, did not have the capability of doing this to my hair. Regardless of me asking or not, she did not give the courtesy of telling me this. And my hair got to suffer for it. And now that I have watched the footage back, I am traumatized of what has happened to my hair.
It's traumatized by. You're traumatized by what has happened to your hair. Also, stop throwing around the word traumatized. You're traumatized? Girl, there are people who like have such crippling PTSD that they can't sleep at night. You're traumatized by bleach on your hair that you asked for that was done in a way that you asked? Get a grip.
At the appointment, I was not able to see the back of my head at all. So I did not know what was going on back there most of the time. I was blindly trusting that through every step of the process, she knew exactly what she was.
That tone shift in music was so disarming. It's insane. She needs to hire an editor.
doing, so I did not think anything of it. Matter of fact, I thought I'm gonna go to Kara because she's the only person who I believe cares about my hair. Turns out Kara doesn't care at all. I don't trust anyone else with my hair. That's why we are here today. That's true. I look like a leopard. My hair looks like a shit stain. None of it is cohesive. None of it's even. Some parts were lifting orange while other parts were lifting yellow. None of it looked neat.
Does she think that that's the hairstylist's control? Your hair is lifting that way because of the weird shit you've been putting on it for YouTube for years. That has traumatized you, of course. That's not her fault. That's why she told you that this was going to be something that would take multiple sessions, and you were not hearing her because you don't understand how hair works, obviously. Oh my god. Those earrings don't go with that necklace either.
My head looked like an entire mess. When I tell you she was sporadically throwing bleach all over the place, I truly mean that she was just putting it wherever the hell she thought she could.
Shows a video of a hairstylist actively avoiding hot roots and damage by avoiding the roots and then going back in to do the roots, which is proper practice and like showing that you actively care about your client's hair. She's just putting bleach everywhere. Girl, she's just putting it on the roots now because you're not supposed to put it on the roots until after you put it on everything else.
Looking back at it, it looked like it was my mother sitting in my bathroom bleaching my hair at home. I think my mom would have done a better job than she did. It looked like she had never bleached hair in her entire life. It was giving very much hope for the best, prepare for the worst. You know what I mean? At one point, she started taking the bleach out with her hands because the front was pretty much done and the back was nowhere near being processed.
So Kara has already addressed the fact that she took the gloves off for part of this satirical bit that they had agreed on mutually. But aside from not wearing gloves, it's extremely common for hairstylists to take out foils that are done, wipe the bleach off so they stop processing, and then let the rest that aren't finished processing process. You're letting everything process to the point it needs to process. That's what you need to do. Why would she let it over process and let the rest sit? That's stupid.
And when I watched the footage back, this is the part that I started actually crying. No. When I saw globs of chemical breakage while my hair was just coming out with the foils because of the chemical breakage, I cried. Oh yeah.
Where is the hair coming out? You guys, I was platinum blonde for 7 years. Okay. I did it very carefully and made sure to not overlap and things like this. I had a very safe way of being platinum blonde as much as you can because bleach is always going to have some breakage. You're never going to bleach your hair and not have some fallout. That's just how it is. So, of course, there's going to be a little bit of hair left in the foils likely from time to time, or at the shampoo bowl, you're going to get some shedding. The same way when you wash your hair, there's hair in the shower drain that gets caught a little bit because your hair naturally sheds. That's just normal. But when you bleach it, it's especially going to shed a little bit because you get a little bit more breakage because you're bleaching your hair. What she just showed and tried to zoom in on, there's no pulling of... There's no pulling of any hair whatsoever. There's no chemical breakage. When you get chemical breakage to the point where your hair actually globs off and it's bleach damage to the point of breakage, your hair turns to effectively the texture of gum and then it pulls and snaps like gum would. And what she's showing is just her foil coming off and then her hair falling because it's no longer in the foil. What are we supposed to be believing? I don't understand. At least edit it or something. If you're gonna try and lie.
This was supposed to be oh my god, I finally dyed my hair black blue. But now it's, oh my god, my hairdresser destroyed my hair. She definitely over bleached my hair. She definitely gave me chemical breakage. I'm not blind. I can clearly see my hair coming out. And no, it's not just because that happens. You have some shedding. No, girl, that's a full-on chemical burn. There's no reason for full-on strands to be coming out of my head like that. What?
I think it's important to note that Mackenzie is not a hairstylist, so I'm not sure where she gets off deciding that things are bad practice in hair because she's not a hairstylist. I wouldn't go to a restaurant and get behind in the kitchen and be that's bad cooking practice because I'm not a chef and I don't fucking know shit about cooking at all. So it just is kind of weird to be that's not how you're supposed to do that, because how the fuck do you know? Also worth noting that Mackenzie's whole thing was I'm traumatized by my hair being fried off before. My hair's been so damaged for years and I'm so traumatized by that. I feel we should probably not throw the word trauma around like that because that's a real thing people go through. That's just me being maybe the friend that's too woke, but that's beside the point. The main point I was getting at. What was the main point I was getting at? oh, Mackenzie's whole thing is that she's so traumatized by her hair being so fried off in the past and all of these things. And the reason that her hair is so fried off is because she has been doing her hair at home incorrectly for years. So, like, you can't blame anybody but yourself, girl. Like, you did it. Like, so presumably you don't know how to do hair and you don't know how to do correct bleach jobs and things like this because you've been doing it at home unlicensed for years, which is fine. Nobody's shitting on you for that. I'm all for like a DIY at-home hair job. That's fine. I get it. Times are tough, whatever. But you don't get to go criticize a professional hairstylist that you've loved for 2 years, mind you, for her technique that you don't know shit about when she has 1,600 hours, which I'm assuming 1,600 hours, that's how long I did. But however many hours of professional training and then professional work for years of cosmetology, when you have self-admittedly fucked your own hair up completely beyond repair to the point where you're traumatized and she's the problem and like and you're the expert on hair because you are the one making the video, I guess. Like, crazy. She makes this whole like smear campaign type video where it's like, she fucked my hair up and she did this, and then she's like cutting to these clips of like normal application and like what was already described by Kara as, I'm going to be taking big sections and I'm going to be doing this and I'm going to be doing that, and she's showing exactly what was described. And then also Mackenzie says, well, if I was told that I was going to be lifted to yellow by my hairstylist, then I expect to be lifted to yellow, which no hairstylist in the history of the world is going to sit in a consultation and say, you will be this color by the end of this session, unless it's like dyeing it black. Like, that's just not how bleach works. Like, you don't know how hair is going to respond to bleach until you're in the middle of bleaching it and you pull the foil back and say, good news, it's banana peel yellow, you know? That's not something that you can kind of predict. Also, Mackenzie was calling her hair in the back virgin hair, because she had been bleaching the front and doing the highlights in the front or whatever and not in the back. But virgin hair is completely undyed, untouched, unbleached, and like referring to like, if I buzzed my head today, in 3 years, having not dyed or touched or anything but cut my hair, that hair would be virgin hair. Like, it's not been touched, whatever. Her hair's not virgin hair because she had said that it was like she's been growing it out after completely obliterating it with these like chemical processes that she's been doing at home. Also, Kara had said, we'll get to Kara's response, of course, but Kara had said, the hairstylist, that she had refused to bleach Mackenzie's hair for 2 years because it wasn't healthy enough. So that's not giving virgin hair to me. Not healthy enough, but like finally we've kind of gotten to a point where we've, you know, strengthened it. That's not virgin hair. Again, just confirming Mackenzie has no fucking idea what she's talking about when it comes to hair, which is fine, but don't get on the internet and start like shitting on your hairstylist for like knowing more about hair than you do and you don't get it. Like, just because you don't understand doesn't mean that she doesn't know better. Just because you're not comprehending the way that she did it doesn't mean she did it wrong. It's probably hard to guess whose side I'm on because I'm so subtle and I lack passion about the whole thing, but we'll get there. So Mackenzie posts her YouTube video. Then Mackenzie posts a like shorter version of this to TikTok.
My hair was destroyed by my hairdresser who's been doing my hair for almost 3 years. Today I had planned to bleach and dye all of my hair back blue. This was the messiest hair job I've ever seen in my life. She took the big sections of hair and bleached it, which is a big no-no. She put too strong developer on my hair, waited it on too long, and caused my hair to have chemical breakage. The roots of my hair were orange as well as the back, and some of my hair was yellow. None of it was cohesive. All of it was not even. The whole job was just very messy. She didn't section my hair when it came to putting dye, and she just slapped it all over my hair. This was really disappointing because, like I said, she'd been doing my hair for 3 years, and I didn't even know this was going on. I was still so happy because I thought my hair was going to be this beautiful teal color, which I knew it was done. It was not the right color, but I didn't know to the extent how bad it was. This right here now looks okay, but when I got home and I breathed into my hair, there's chunks of yellow, green. It looks like this nasty mossy mold color in places. There's dark blue, light blue, green, yellow, green. There's parts that aren't even dyed. Like, this is the ugliest hair color, and my hair is destroying, has chemical burn. Luckily, I'm still me, and me as a person, I love the way I look, and I'm happy with who I am. So my hair's not going to change that. Let me know in the comment section below, what would you do if this was your hair?
And then after the TikTok is posted, Kara then posts a response. And in the response, Kara's like, listen, I didn't want to have to do anything about this. I didn't want to have to respond to this. I didn't want to have to acknowledge this. But now that it's like on TikTok, which is where I mainly post, people are sending it to me and it's starting to actually affect me. So here's my response. So this is what Kara had to say.
Story time of letting your client film the worst hairstylist ever video of you and agreeing that was going to be satire, and then she decides to post it as like the real thing. She posts videos like this all the time. She posts videos saying worst rated nail salon, worst rated hair salon, and I was down for it. I love making funny videos. I started painting my nails in the hair salon. I purposely took off my gloves for this video and let her film me bleaching her hair without gloves on. I also wet the back of the salon chair purposely so it looked like I drenched her back. I did all this stuff for the video just for fun.
Also, with the wetting the back of the chair thing to make it look like she wet her like down the back when she was shampooing her, the way that it looks in the video that Mackenzie shows like clipped super tight to make it look like it was legitimate, it's so clear that it's what Kara's saying, because it's not like, oh, it's from somebody's wet back. It's like, no, it's very clearly from, like, it's dripping, like as if someone sprayed it down. Like, come on.
Also mentioned, I've done this girl's hair for 2 years and we've had a great relationship. She's never complained or asked me to redo her hair. She's always paid and tipped me, and we finally decided to do something different with her hair. Instead of the chunky highlight turquoise, we did a full bleach out turquoise. And if you're a hairstylist watching this, you know how big of a difference that's going to be. And I explained her the whole process. I explained that I wasn't going to be taking fine sections of the back of her hair, and that I wanted to take thicker sections and let it light in open air so that it wouldn't process as quickly. Therefore, I could leave it on her hair for longer and her hair wouldn't overprocess. Because at the end of the day, her hair health was always number one to me. I refused to do a full bleach on her for 2 years because her hair couldn't handle it. I wanted her hair to get to a healthier place, and she kept asking, and I finally felt like her hair could handle it. Finally did it, and I explained it was a process. I also explained after doing her hair that there were certain areas that didn't lift as well that we need to retouch next time I did her roots.
Also, with the certain areas that don't lift as well, again, it's something that you can't predict until you get the bleach in there. And with Mackenzie having bleached her own hair and colored her own hair for years, that's a lot of like different colors, and like, I don't know if box dye was involved, which is a whole different beast. There's just a lot of like different color bands that you can get and like splotches from that type of like behavior on your hair and things like that. If you're gonna try and lift that, it's gonna literally be cheetah print when you try and lift it. So of course this is the result. You get this like blotchy, weird yellow orange situation. And she was willing to work with it and be like, okay, come back next time and we'll fix it. But of course, that's not going to get her any views to post on YouTube.
She brought in the blue each time, and I also told her that I was happy to redo the blue because she brought in the wrong blue this time, and I had to mix up a blue and a yellow to make the turquoise, and it didn't take as well. She acted very happy when she left. She never told me she was dissatisfied. I texted her after the video was posted on YouTube, and I asked, why would you do that to me after 2 years of our relationship? You didn't have the decency to let me know you were unhappy. No response from her.
It's really sad also because Kara's just clearly like hurt by this, you know, like you think you have a relationship with this person who's like actually a friend after 2 years of being a client. That's like your friend basically. And then to just backstab you, it's just also to not even say it to your face. Like if you actually don't like the color and you're disappointed, you just talk to her, you know, it's crazy. It's like, Jesus. So the text that Kara sent to Mackenzie after seeing the video and seeing that she made up this whole thing about the worst hairstylist experience ever or whatever is, wow, I'm really shocked that you posted that video. I'm really sad that you didn't feel like you owed me after 2 years of doing your hair to tell me that it wasn't right. I took the time to do section by section so that it wouldn't overlap over previous color. So yes, going from highlights to a solid color. It wasn't perfectly even. I have even mentioned before you left that there were certain sections that I needed to go over next time I bleach your hair. I left your hair healthy in good condition, though that was my first priority. Also, it was my video idea to do this as a joke, and you just ran with it. Really hurtful. I would be happy to fix anything for you. I just find it upsetting that you went online without texting me first. I didn't even watch the full video. I'm just shocked and really sad. Clock the part where she literally offers to fix it for her still, after she's went online and completely ruined her fucking name. This is so crazy.
Radio silence. I'll be honest, I haven't watched the YouTube video. That's the very beginning, and I skipped to the very end to know that it wasn't satire, and I chose not to watch it because I don't want to bully myself, and I don't want to be consumed by things on social media when I know my integrity as a hairstylist. I know it was supposed to be a joke. But because some people are sending me these videos, and because now it's posted to TikTok, I decided I wanted to address it. But like I said, a lot of those clips that she's using in this video are literally meant for satire that I did intentionally as a joke, and the fact that she's using that and then saying I really am the worst hairstylist is crazy. I also mentioned to her that we could do a collab video for this video because we're doing the satire thing, and I have a lot of followers that have followed me from my story time of my worst experience as a hairstylist with my split dye video. And she said, why do you think that went so viral? Her eyes kind of lit up when I told her I got 55 million views on that video. And I literally just feel like she just wanted to, it's like a cash grab for her. Like she's just trying to like almost like recreate her own viral video where she's trying to, and it doesn't really matter if she takes me down with her. She also told me she's moving to Texas, so she no longer needs me to do her hair anymore. She doesn't need me to do her hair anymore, so I guess she doesn't need our relationship anymore, so she's going to take what she can get from it and just post this video. But yeah, I haven't even watched both of the videos in full. I don't need to say what actually happened. I just know that those few clips are in it, so once again, I did not want to make this video. I didn't want to give it any attention, but now that it's posted to TikTok and more people are sending it to me, I just thought it was a good idea to make this video to explain what actually happened. But
I genuinely think that's what it is. I think that she knew she was moving to Texas and was like, oh, because Kara says it was her idea to do the satire thing because she knows that's Mackenzie's little thing that she does of like posting worst hairstylist ever or whatever. So she was like, oh, like, great idea. You act a fool and I will videotape all of it and then I'll post it saying that you're a piece of shit and I won't make it clear that it's satire and then I'll never see you again and it'll be great. Like, crazy. So then, of course, Miss Mackenzie would not let this go unresponded to. So Mackenzie posts her response.
It's gotten too out of him. I decided that I want to address the hair video. I never came there to make a satire joke video at all. I came there to dye all my hair back teal and for it to be a beautiful transformation of my hair. I was going to go to other hairstylists to get this done. I did not trust them, and I went to Kara, who was my trusted hairstylist.
If you only trust Kara and she's your trusted person, why are you even entertaining going to other hairstylists? Like, that already doesn't make sense. She's like, oh, I was gonna go to other people, but I only trust you. Then why were you gonna go to other people? Like, what the fuck?
She's the only person I've let touch or bleach my hair because I was so traumatized by how damaged my hair was. These are the text messages that I sent Kara about the type of video we were making.
Okay, she says this is the text message that I sent Kara about the type of video we were making. And she says, hey, what's your rate to bleach all my hair? And then dye it blue. Kara says, hi, it depends on how long it takes, so it's hard to give an exact number, so it will range between 400 to 500. And then Mackenzie says, would you be down to do all blonde tomorrow? I want to film it for a video. I want to do all teal. And then Kara says, let's do it. Mackenzie says, okay, cool. I'm going to film the whole process. Are you okay with that? And then Kara says, yeah, of course, that's fine. Just make sure you plan traffic to get there on time so we have enough time. The traffic's been horrible lately. This, to me, says a few things. Mackenzie's always late, which is fucking rude because she had to call out to her client of 2 years, make sure you plan about traffic because you never do. And also, Mackenzie thought it was okay to say the day before her appointment, oh, also, can I do a full color correction instead of the normal highlight touch up and tone that we usually do, to do a giant fucking hours and hours long service instead? And Kara was so nice about it. You guys, this is a giant service change. This is like, instead of doing a like 1 to 2 hour thing, doing like a 5 to 8 hour thing. This is like an all day service typically. This is a legitimate color correction. And so to ask to do this instead and her being like, yeah, of course, is so nice because most hairstylists would be like, eat a dick. Like, that's crazy. No. Like, you're gonna have to come a totally different time. And then Kara's like, but make sure you're here on time because you're always late and you've just changed the service to be way longer.
I do not mention making a satire video once. I would not make a joke about my hair getting destroyed after all of the years that I spent trying to get back to fixing my hair. I did not ask Kara to paint her nails for my video. I did not ask her to squirt the back of the chair. Those are all things that she did willingly. I would never ask someone to put bleach on my hair without wearing gloves. That is dangerous, and I would never ask someone to do that. I did not make that video to send Kara hate. I reviewed her service that she gave me.
I did not make that video to send Kara hate. I made it to completely shit on her as a person and a hairstylist, and then let my followers do what they will. That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
I did not release her full name. I did not release her salon details. I went as far as telling people, don't go to Kara and don't send her hate.
I didn't release her full name or her salon details, just her fucking face and her name and what she does for a living and the city we're in.
When I saw the video of the footage of how Kara was doing my hair and how it ultimately came out at the end, I couldn't take my video that I filmed and say, oh, Kara did a great job and sectioned it out great and my hair came out how it was supposed to. Nothing went how it was supposed to. My hair is not supposed to look like this. This is not what Kara and I agreed on. She told me my hair was going to be yellow blonde. This under here is practically orange.
There's not a chance in fucking hell that a hairstylist told this girl, whose hair is naturally a level 2, that in 3 hours, her hair was going to be yellow blonde with no splotchiness and no damage. No fucking chance. If you have natural, like, level 1 or 2 hair and you bleach it, it lifts to red. If you bleach it further, it lifts to orange. If you bleach it even further, it lifts to yellow. There are levels. You can't just bleach hair that's almost black and have it be fucking platinum blonde with no damage. That doesn't happen. That's an impossible ask. It's an impossible ask. Of course it's almost orange. Because also, you brought in the fucking blue that she used. or that she was supposed to use, or whatever the story is there.
I filmed the experience of what happened when I went there and got my hair done. I did not go there to make a joke. I was never the one making jokes about how my hair was bad or how I was going to a bad hairdresser. Kara was making those jokes at me, and I was laughing at them. I'm like, oh yeah, haha, that would be funny if I did that. And she kept saying, that's what you should do for your video. That's what you should do for your video. My video was supposed to be a beautiful hair transformation.
Because that's what she's known for. Her whole channel's serious beauty guru stuff. Beautiful, transformational content.
Which is not what happened. I gave an honest review of how Kara did my hair. I explained it, how it was done. Kara, we both know that when you finished my hair, it was patchy, it was uneven, you did not give me my haircut, and it did not look how it was supposed to look.
This is another thing about the haircut. She says in her text, can we do a full bleach and then do the teal? And Kara says, yeah, let's do it. And she says in her little video where she slanders Kara for 15 minutes, I always get a haircut at every appointment, and she didn't give me a haircut. Girl, did you ask for a haircut? Because it doesn't sound like you asked for a haircut. You have to ask for things that you want at a service. And like, you changed the appointment from something that takes an hour to 2 hours to something that takes 5 hours, and she did it in 3. So I don't think she had time for a fucking haircut. Like, also, when she started blow drying, or when she got the blow dryer out, why didn't you say, oh, I want a haircut also? Use your words like a big girl.
I came in with hair that matched these extensions. This was the color my hair is supposed to be.
The color on those extensions is indicative of hair that needs to be lifted to like a level 9 or 8. That would have taken either all fucking day with damage or like 2 sessions at least.
I did not get the service that I paid for.
Also, this is just nitpicky, but the cadence in which she's talking makes me want to rip my fucking eyeballs out of my head. It's killing me. This is not the service that I paid for. Girl, it's okay to just use all your words at once.
Yeah, you effin' with some wet-ass P-word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass P-word. Give me everything you got for this wet-ass P-word.
Kara did not give me any recommendation as to how to fix my hair or how we were going to deal with the patchiness.
I thought you were the expert, though. You're the genius and you're the expert. Why would she recommend anything? You know everything.
She was fine with the service that she gave me. She did not mention anything about it. I asked her if I could come in again and give me a haircut because she was working so fast on my hair to get it done that she forgot to give me my haircut.
She was working fast because she didn't want to damage your hair with bleach. And because you gave her 3-hour slot to do something that takes days.
The whole time she was telling me she was in a hurry to get to her boyfriend. That's why she was painting her nails, because she wanted them to look nice.
I'm sorry, that's made up. That's fucking bullshit. I'm not trying to dick ride this hairstylist so hard, but that's just so fucking made up. It's not even funny. She's just trying to like come up with another thing that's crazy.
At the end of the day, I reviewed her to get to her boyfriend.
To do something that takes days.
The whole time she was telling me she was in a hurry to get to her boyfriend. That's why she was painting her nails, because she wanted them to look nice.
I'm sorry, that's made up. That's fucking bullshit. I'm not trying to dick ride this hairstylist so hard, but that's just so fucking made up. It's not even funny. She's just trying to like come up with another thing that's crazy.
At the end of the day, I reviewed her service and she allowed me to film it. I never asked to make a joke about my hair being destroyed. I'm very upset that my hair looks like this. My hair was coming out in those clips. You mentioning these jokes about my hair, you can see how uncomfortable I am when she says she's the worst hairdresser. Just be the hairdresser from now.
What, because you looked up? The fuck? You can see how uncomfortable I am.
Like, that's not something your client wants to hear when they have a full head of bleach in their hair. I didn't find that funny. I was laughing because I was uncomfortable. I didn't reach out to Kara or ask her to fix my hair because after what she left me with, my trust was so broken that I had nothing else to say. I did not want to go back and get my hair fixed by her because of the damage she'd already caused. So that is all that I have to say about this. I think it's stupid that I even have to address this because at the end of the day, my hair has suffered from this, and that's it.
Well, I don't trust people who have grass on their walls. So that's all I have to say. You have grass on your wall. Do you have to fertilize your wall? Do you mow your wall? You guys, I gotta be honest with you. I paused for a second because I had to go eat dinner. So if my lipstick looks different, it's because it is. I had to redo it, okay? I had to fix it and touch it up because I ate a sandwich and then I had to adjust. So if I see any fucking comments about, oh, your lipstick looks different in part of the video, in the second part of the video, I'll be like, that's because it is. So feel free to leave a comment. Leave 5 or 6 comments. Leave 17 comments about how my lipstick looks different, please. Thank you so much. Only real ones will. Only the real ones will leave 17 comments about how my lipstick looks different in this part of the video. Anyway, so somebody comments on Mackenzie's video where she's like, this is what actually happened, whatever, in her very annoying cadence that she talks in. Sorry. Someone comments, post the unedited clips. Because, yeah, if there's some tea to be spilled, spill it, bitch. Like, if you're gonna, like, give us the full story, you videotaped the entire appointment. So, spill. Like, post it. Like, post what happened. You have all of that footage to prove your case or whatever. So, submit it to the jury. And this is what she gives us, explaining to Kara what the video is about.
What are you gonna do for YouTube?
YouTube one is gonna be like, so it's like my longtime fans, you know, they love the colored hair, so they've been waiting for the blue to come back.
Oh yeah.
So it's gonna be like, I finally dyed my hair back blue, and this is how we did it, and this is the experience, and this is what it was like, and this is what it looks like now. And it'll just be me like talking through it and explaining how I fixed my hair by doing basically nothing to it. Yeah. Oiling it and just like, you know, like basically what I learned throughout the process of peeling my hair.
Nice.
I will say that does raise an eyebrow of, wait, that's not satire. We're not discussing a satire video or anything like that. So then Kara makes a second response to clear things up, because now she's like, okay, well, it does kind of look like we were doing a serious, like we weren't doing like a satire video or anything like that. And I just was going insane, right? So this is what Kara has to say about that situation. Side note, the part of the salon visit where you're getting shampooed and they're massaging your head and then they lift and massage under your neck. Girl, it's so the best fucking part. But as a hairstylist, it was my least favorite part. I hated that shit. Anyway, here's Kara's response.
Hey guys, I didn't want to make another follow-up video, that's why I made the last video very long, but Mackenzie just made another video. But anyway, I just wanted to start by saying thank you so much for all the really kind messages. I was not expecting that. I was really scared to post the last video and give it any more attention, but you guys are so sweet, sending me support and just sticking together as hairstylists and clients and just being nice girls in my messages. I really, really appreciate it. So her last video that she just posted, I saw people are commenting on her TikToks before she disabled the comments, saying that she should post the unedited footage.
Clock it. Before she disabled the comments.
I've been posting that on mine too, but I don't have any footage from that day. She was the one filming, and we don't have cameras inside of our salon, only on the inside and outside of the salon, so I don't have anything to show. I'm not sure what the unedited clip that she proves at all. Honestly, I'm not sure what the point of her posting that was. In the clip that she posted, I'm asking what her plans are for the video that she's posting to YouTube. We're not discussing our collab TikTok video that was supposed to be satire, that was supposed to be posted on both her pages. So the clip that she posted is pretty much useless. Like, she should be posting stuff that's explaining what our plans are for TikTok, because her YouTube was a complete separate thing. That's why I was asking her what her plans were for YouTube. I will say that none of this was premeditated or like really thought out in advance at all. Of this on my end, it was all very last minute. I had a pre-booked thing for like at least 6 weeks or something like that, 2 months maybe, and for March 12th, and then she texted me March 11th, like in the evening, and asked if she could film the following day. And I was like, sure, you know, she's my last client of the day. I have the time. Her hair is healthy enough. It's at a good place. She's been asking for a while. I felt like it was just an appropriate time to do the full bleach or whatever the next day. So, and she asked to film, and I said sure. So when she came in and her boyfriend started filming everything, I started to feel uncomfortable because maybe my intuition knew something wasn't right. I honestly don't think she planned to do this from the start, but I could be wrong. As they were filming things and like getting clips that like weren't like aesthetically pleasing, like things I would never film on my own of myself because I was taking such thick sections of her hair, which I explained to her before we even did this process why I was going to take thick sections, because I wanted to get it on her hair quickly so it wasn't sitting on her hair for too much time, because I didn't want her to over process. I was very concerned about her hair. So I started feeling embarrassed as it was being filmed, and I made a joke saying like, oh my god, like the people are gonna like come for me in the comments because this looks crazy. And that's when we kind of decided we were gonna just go with it and run with it and have fun and make the satire video of worst hairstyles ever, whatever. And then I started to have fun with it and like purposely take off my gloves, paint my nails, and it was like fun filming this. But yeah, so we had discussed all that while she was in the chair. After we already started filming, it was like an afterthought. Then in the bowl, after she's done with her color, which is the clip she had posted, I'm asking, so what are your plans for YouTube? Since we had already discussed that the TikTok one was gonna be a collab one, worst hairstyles ever. So now I'm asking in that video what her plans are for YouTube. They're gonna be completely separate things. And then after I was done with her hair, as I'm blow drying her, I point out that it's not perfect. We need to retouch this. We need to do this. I'm happy to redo your semi-permanent color when you come in for your trim on Tuesday the following week. And that's when she decided that, you know, what's better online than a satire video, the real thing. And she didn't like her hair. So it wasn't premeditated that she was probably going to do this. She just didn't like her hair afterwards. And then she was like, okay, like I already have all these clips and it's going to look like she is the worst hairdresser because that's what we were pretending to be the whole time. So it's kind of the perfect storm for a very viral video. And it was very manipulative. And she had no right to use those clips that were meant for satire. She just wanted to make a video saying she hated her hair. That'd be a completely separate thing, and that would be upsetting in and of itself. But to use clips that were purposely made to be satire is crazy.
Yeah, I feel her on the, like, it would have already been upsetting had she not liked her hair, especially given the having been told the realistic expectations, to have the entitlement to be, like, expecting magic results, first of all, that day. And then I think it's exactly what she said when Kara said that she thinks that it was like, oh, I don't like my hair. I might as well just use these clips of her pretending to be the worst hairstylist ever and go in on the video that way and make it look like I had the worst hair experience of all time and use this clickbaity thing, not realizing that it would be viral for the fact that she was being a mean girl bully instead of being viral for the fact that this poor innocent girl got her hair ruined. Like, Give me a fucking break. But the plot thickens because then this girl posted this video. Trigger warning, she does briefly mention essay in this TikTok, so I will put the timestamp on the screen of when this portion will be over. But the TLDR of why it's relevant to this story is effectively another story about how Mackenzie was manipulative and cruel. So, the timestamp will be on the screen, but here is what this person had to say as well.
Quick backstory, I knew Mackenzie Marie since elementary school. Middle school and high school, we kind of drifted apart because we went to different schools, had different friends, etc. We ran into each other at a local Target around 2015, and we rekindled our friendship like no time went by. She had maybe less than 100K subscribers at this time. It wasn't the biggest deal to me. I knew her since childhood, and we just rekindled a friendship that we once had. The more I spent time with her, the more I realized that pretty much everything surrounded her YouTube channel, and she was trying to find any way to find a quick viral moment to get money, views, and subscribers. That was pretty much her main goal every single waking moment of every single day. I realized that there was pretty much not a single day that I hung out with her that didn't involve her trying to vlog it or film it or do something. It was never about us being actually friends. It was, oh, let's go take pictures at this restaurant, let's go vlog this, let's go do this. It was always something that had to do with content. So I was genuinely just an accessory to her life. It came to a point where I started to realize that she was posting fake videos for attention and for views and to have her next viral moment so she can cash in on it. And then she got into a relationship with another YouTuber who was already at 1 million subscribers, and they decided to start making a bunch of relationship content where it was pranks that were fake and a bunch of other stuff that was all fake and scripted and planned out because her boyfriend at the time told her, it's fine, this is how I got the most views. And so she decided to go even further with her lies to get money and views and subscribers. Do we see a pattern here? One of the main reasons, and actually I think the main reason why I ended our friendship, is because she made a fake video with this boyfriend and a friend of ours at the time where she got fake assaulted because they wanted to have this big crazy scandal that happened. And after they posted this video, a bunch of people were commenting on her socials worried about her because she posted a video called I Was Assaulted. I started to realize that she was willing to do anything to make money and to be famous, that I started to realize that I did not agree with her character and her choices, and I decided to end our friendship. Since that phone call that I had with her, I have not spoken to her since. This was, I think, 2016. After our friendship ended, I actually reached out to somebody that we were previously friends with, and I decided to rekindle my friendship with her because I unfortunately contributed to a really negative situation where Mackenzie actually posted a video doxing this girl. So after my friendship ended with Mackenzie, I reached out to this girl and we rekindled our friendship. Mackenzie ended up finding out that I rekindled this friendship with this girl, and Mackenzie's way of trying to get back at me was to seek out my RAPIST and become friends with him and then post vlogs with him on social media for me to see them, to spite me. Mackenzie Marie befriended my RAPIST to spite me and hurt me. Let that sink in. She also did not tell me the age of her ex-boyfriend, who was a minor at the time. She kept his age from me and told me that he was 18, and after they broke up, she let me know that he was 14/15 when she was 18 years old. Also let that sink in. She has lied about having an eating disorder. She has lied about many things happening to her in her storytime videos. You know, I thought that maybe one day that behavior would end, but clearly with what is going on now, I guess not. 4 years ago, I posted a 45-minute video with proof and screenshots of all of the horrendous things that Mackenzie has done that I have spoken about in this video. But the comments I received on that video were her children audience, these young kids who said I lied about being assaulted, I just want to be famous, I'm just jealous of her, etc. After I posted that video, I did get a lot of support from my peers and my friends and my followers, but the comments that I received on that video, these people completely diminished the experience that I went through. Mind you, I had screenshots and proof throughout this video. Anything I spoke about, I had screenshots of. And these children were completely just saying, this didn't happen, you're just jealous of her. And now because the situation is happening, I wanted to speak up about it publicly again, because I mean this with every fiber of my being. Mackenzie Marie does not deserve a platform, and she does not deserve to constantly get away with being a compulsive liar and profiting off of lying to people on the internet for clicks and views. This needs to fucking stop. One day ago, Mackenzie says, do not go and send hate to Kara. That's not the purpose of the video. My hair was destroyed due to a couple mistakes. My hair will be okay. Then why did you start the video by saying, all my hair came off and wearing a hat? What she wanted was for people to feel sorry for her so she could have this big viral moment, and oh my god, Brad Bondo can watch it, and oh my god, this girl got her hair destroyed by a hairdresser. Oh my god, call the fucking news. Now that Kara is wonderfully and professionally speaking up for herself, the tables have turned. You cannot spend your entire online presence compulsively lying to people and being okay with the fact that you are getting paid for it. That is not what normal people do.
Obviously, I have to say for YouTube that that's all alleged, and if you want more info, she did say that she posted a YouTube video in full detail about it, so that's not my place to talk on her experience or anything like that. I personally believe victims. Anyway, so basically about 1 week after she posts that YouTube video, just completely trashing Kara for no reason, she posts a single, like a song, and I can't help but feel like the timing is a little interesting that we're posting our new song right after trying to like fish for a shit ton of clout at someone else's expense. That's all I'm gonna fucking say about that. I'm not gonna play her song because I'm not gonna get a copyright strike, bitch. So that's effectively the tea about the situation. But since Miss Mackenzie made such a big deal about how god-awful of a hairstylist Kara is and how she shouldn't be able to call herself a blonding specialist, I did want to highlight a few of Kara's blonding clients that she's posted and show what they actually look like. So here are some of Kara's actual blonding clients. And as you can see, Miss Thing is allowed to call herself a blonding specialist. She kicks ass and she's a good fucking hairstylist. So lesson to be learned is even if she had had a bad experience and her hair wasn't the way she wanted, talk to the fucking person who did it and either get a refund and go to someone else or just have them fix it, or, you know, you don't need to trash someone and try to ruin their career for clout. It's just cruel. It's mean girl. It's just gross. And the fact that she did this and then a week later was like dropping a new song and moving to fucking a new state, it's just crazy. I can't get behind the whole thing. I think it's gross. I think it's mean girl behavior. And the whole thing genuinely has made my blood boil. Yeah, let's not be doing that. Let's not be doing that. And with that, I'll go ahead and tap out. because I can't fucking take it anymore. If you watched this far, I sincerely appreciate you to my innermost core and all of my bones. And I want you to comment what you want to see from me in the future and what you would hate to see from me, and something medium. Please murder the subscribe button and beat the shit out of the like button for me. And I will see you next time with a new video. Hi dudes, I'm Brooke, although today you can call me Your Honor because I'm gonna be judging some Am I the Asshole stories. It's been a minute since I've done this and it's always fun, so let's just dive right into them. Okay, first up we have, am I the asshole for not making my daughter switch back a gifted Labubu with her younger cousin after her uncle found out the one that my daughter gained in the swap is rare with a high resale value? Okay, long title, Jesus Christ. First off, I feel like we could have trimmed the fat off of that title a little bit, but I digress. Let's go ahead and read the story. Based off title alone, I feel like she's not the asshole, but let's go ahead and see. Throwaway because my family is on Reddit. I always think it's funny when they say that because is anybody really worried about that? I guess it's Reddit, so everybody's worried about everything, but are there really people that are like the throwaway police who'd be like, you don't have anything on this account. Why don't you have anything on this account? This is a new account. This seems to be a throwaway account. Like, who's fucking worried about that? But anyway, this happened over Christmas and it's turning into a whole family drama. My daughter, Sophia, 12, and her cousin, Martina, 6. Martina is the daughter of my sister, Maria, and her husband, Jose, were gifted blind box Labubus as part of their Christmas gift from my other sister, Sarah. Okay, so Sophia is 12, Martina is 6, and they were both gifted Labubus from their aunt, Sarah. That's a lot of names we were just introduced to. They each opened their boxes. Martina, the 6-year-old, got a brown one, and Sophia, the 12-year-old, got a pink one. Martina, the 6-year-old, immediately wanted the pink one, and Sophia, who is OP's daughter, the 12-year-old, immediately offered a trade because she already has the pink one and was hoping for the brown one. They traded, both girls were happy, and that was that. Or so I thought. Later, Martina's parents found out from talking to someone that the brown Labubu is apparently a rare secret version that can sell for $250 plus. Is that really how much that goes for? I know that that's the secret one or whatever on like the Macaroon. Is it the Macaroon series? Let's see. Macaroon Labubu secret. Let's see how much it goes for. Is it actually that much? There's no way it's going for $250. That seems over. Highest price I'm seeing right now is $175. $160, $150, $178. Okay. $190. Yeah, $250 seems like a huge stretch. Anyway, I digress, but they're mad because it's the secret Labubu that is more expensive because the secret, if you're not familiar with blind boxes, I'm not like a Labubu girl. No shade to Labubus. I do think they're fun and cute or whatever, but I am a blind box fan. I like my little get-a-hug bears, if you've ever seen those. I have my son Dib on my purse at all times, and if you like those videos, I post them on my TikTok and my Reels. If you didn't see my other video, I want Reagan really bad. If it's green and it's Beetlejuice, I will be happy to have Beetlejuice, but I'll a little bit crash out. If I was to continue my trend of getting all different ones, it would either be Reagan or Beetlejuice. The odds of me getting Beetlejuice and the only one I didn't get is Reagan would be like poetic because it would be so ridiculous. Green? You guys. Oh my God. The fucking odds of me getting, on my first try, getting every single one of these characters except the one I wanted. It's so crazy. Anyway, but when you do a blind box, basically there's usually like 7 options or so. Like at least that's how it is with the get-a-hugs, is that you get like 7 options and 6 of those will have like the same odds and they're all like normal odds. But then 1 will be the secret where you're not supposed to know what that character even looks like. Like it's not on the side of the box listed as an option. It's like shadowed out like a guess that Pokemon. And that secret one has a way lower chance of getting it. It's like a more rare one to get. So it's more exciting to get. So people will buy multiple boxes trying to get that secret one. And in this case, that like coffee brown color Labubu was the secret for that series. I know this because even though I'm not a Labubu person, I do like watching people unbox them because it's exciting. Anyway, back to the story. They're upset because they learned that it can allegedly sell for over $250. We have fact-checked that to not necessarily be the case, but they do sell for about $100. Once they learned that, they called me and said the girls needed to switch back and that Sophia was to return the brown one immediately. They even wanted me to drive over with it then and there, despite the fact that they live an hour away and it was already 8 p.m. I asked if Martina actually wanted the brown one back. They said that wasn't the point. After some pushing back, Jose admitted someone was willing to pay him $225 for the brown one and give Martina the pink one she wants. Okay, so they have a buyer already. That makes more sense. I said I wouldn't force Sophia to swap back. From my perspective, both kids were happy with the trade and got the Labubu they wanted. Sophia didn't pressure or manipulate Martina into switching. If she had, I would have stepped in immediately and told her you get what you get and you don't get upset. I've always heard that as you don't throw a fit, but I guess it depends. The rhyme depends on the way you say get. Well, you guys, this isn't an engagement bait. I genuinely want to know how people have heard that phrase because I've never heard it as you don't get upset. I've always heard you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. But I guess if you say you get what you get and you don't get upset, I guess that rhymes better. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. You get what you get and you don't get upset. Now I'm like overthinking how I say get. Do I say get or get? I think I say get. So I guess upset rhymes better. Now I'm really overthinking like how I say that. Anyway, so she would have told her one variation of that phrase. When I asked her, Sophia admitted that she knew the brown one was rare, but when I asked how much they sell for, she said that they're blind boxes, so you can't buy the brown, they just make less of them. She didn't know it was worth money. She's not a good liar, and she appeared to be telling the truth. I mean, that's technically true. Why would she know about resellers and stuff like that too? She's 12. Martina originally didn't want the brown one, and basically got upset when she saw Sophia got pink. It feels like Maria and Jose only want the brown one back because they can sell it and pocket money from it. Now they're upset with me and saying I'm being unfair and taking advantage of a 6-year-old, and Jose even called Sophia a manipulative bitch, which I think is a reach when Sophia didn't know it was worth a lot of money. She just knew they were rare to pull, that she already had the pink and Martina was crying for the pink one. Sarah has said this is stupid parent drama, she's staying out of it, and we can sort it all out ourselves. Yeah, Sarah's the one that gifted the Labubus, if you remember from the beginning. So am I the asshole for refusing to make my daughter give the brown Labubu back? No, dude, absolutely not, because in their world, they're like, oh, if we get the $225 and then the pink Labubu, our daughter wins and we win because we get the money and the like pink Labubu. But then like, what about the 12-year-old? Like Sophia, she doesn't get a toy at all. Like she doesn't get a present at all. That's not cool. She's 12. She's still a kid. She still should get a present for Christmas. That's fucked up. It's still a toy. Like it's still like, just because it's a collector's item and they're like popular right now or whatever, it's still a fucking toy. It's actually ridiculous for parents to get involved in this. And he called a 12-year-old a manipulative bitch. I guess in the edit she says, Jose called Sophia a manipulative bitch to me on the phone discussing it, not to Sophia's face. He'd be a dead man Whoa, something took over me. He'd be a dead man walking if he said that to her. It was said about an hour before making the post, and I hung up on him for it, and it has not yet been addressed. My wife and I will obviously be addressing it. I was still processing it when I made the post, but the manipulative part made me wonder if I was being unreasonable, hence making the post. I feel like if anybody called my 12-year-old child a manipulative bitch, it would be like game over regardless if they said it to their face or not. That's fucking insane. It doesn't matter if you're fucking saying it to their face or not. You do not call a child that. That's wild. For a Labubu, you're calling a child a manipulative bitch over a Labubu? It's a Labubu. They heard that and were like, oh, am I being unreasonable? This grown man just called my daughter a manipulative bitch. Am I being unreasonable? Is he right? Huh? That's fucking wild. There's another edit that says, since I can't reply now, Sophia's trying to collect the whole set of Labubus, and her motivation for wanting the brown one was to help complete the set. She has no intention of selling or trading it. After talking about it with her again, she took rare to mean simply it's harder to find in the boxes. She doesn't engage in buying or reselling. As far as I know, Jose and Maria are not in desperate need of cash. They're not rich, sure, but to the best of my knowledge, not in the kind of financial situation where the only way to keep the lights on for the next quarter is to sell their child's gift. We're in Australia, so this is in Australian dollars. Oh, they're in Australia. That makes more sense for the $225 then. I wonder, let me switch that money then. 225 Australian dollars to USD. I'll stop. I'm really sorry. Is $150. So that makes sense. Okay, that makes way more sense. Okay, not me being so nationalistic and immediately assuming they were in America. American moment. Freaking American moment. That was so fucking American of me to be like, of course they're in America, so... That's so fucking American of me. Oh, I fucking hate myself. I saw a dollar sign and I was like, and it's American dollars, of course, because everybody's in America. Everybody's in America. The whole world is America. So of course, there's no other countries. So of course, this whole thing is in America. That's really fucking wild of me. Anyway, so let's see. This one was voted as poo mode activated. Dude, I'm a child. When they're voted as poo mode, bro, that is so funny. Okay, yeah. Sometimes it's like cathartic to see people agree with you in the comments. The top comment is not the asshole for this post, but you're seriously underreacting to your brother-in-law calling your daughter a manipulative bitch, as is your sister. Yeah, dude, like what the fuck? To me, that seals the deal that you're not trading it back, and your sister better say something to her husband, and both better apologize to you. It doesn't matter that your daughter didn't hear it. That's genuinely what he thinks of her, and he's saying that Bile and his wife, your sister, your daughter's aunt, seems to be perfectly fine. What kind of aunt lets her husband say that about her niece and be fine staying out of it and telling others to sort it out? What kind of mom lets these people keep interacting with her kid? So I think this person's mistaking the person who gifted the Labubus with the brother-in-law's wife, the person who called the daughter a manipulative bitch. So that's a little bit confusing, but still, yes, that's fucking insane to like take that and not freak the fuck out, because anybody calling a 12-year-old a manipulative bitch over trading Labubus is fucking wild. That's an insane take. Over $150 too is crazy. I know $150 is obviously like a chunk of money. That's not to be like scoffed at. I'm not saying like $150 pocket change, not at all, but to like ruin the family dynamic over is wild. The next comment is, so he wants to steal his child's Christmas present. Look, I understand $250 is a lot for some people, especially at this time of year, but he wants to sell his own child's Christmas present. Wow, fuck that guy. And then the next person under it said, no, he wants to steal his niece's Christmas present. Yeah, exactly. No, dude. Fuck that. Fuck that guy. Not the asshole, but you are a fucking asshole for letting that guy speak that way about your kid and not beating the fucking shit out of him. I don't stand for violence, but I do stand for beating the fuck out of somebody who talks that way about your kid. Theoretically. Normalize beating the fuck out of your brother-in-law if they call your kid a manipulative bitch, your 12-year-old, over a Labubu. Normalize beating your family's ass. Alright, next story. Alright guys, it is getting pretty close to my birthday, so don't forget to subscribe so we can beat Mr. Beast for feminism. If you're new here, it's misogynistic that Mr. Beast has more subscribers than me, so by my birthday, February 9th, we are trying to beat Mr. Beast in subscribers as a win for women and for feminism as a whole. Hashtag Sharks Bite Beasts. Please subscribe. Thanks, guys. Would I be the asshole if I asked my husband to stop cooking breakfast? Okay, just based off the title, it does seem asshole-ish, but let's hear them out. My 31 female husband, 31 male, is a creature of habit and has made himself the same breakfast every single morning for the 10 years that we've been together. A tofu scramble with various veggies made on a cast iron skillet. For years, I would barely notice his cooking in the morning. However, a couple years ago, he started getting distracted while cooking and he'd walk out of the room to sit down at his computer and start thinking about work for the day. He will claim that the stove is off or on super low, but the result is that almost every morning the food smells like burnt oil and is just awful. I find the smell to be revolting, and on a few occasions have had coughing fits from the smoke in the air. He usually disagrees and says that there isn't any smoke in the air. What the fuck? How do you disagree about whether or not there's smoke in the air? And also, isn't that a huge fire risk? You can't really leave something like a tofu scramble on the fucking stove. That's really confusing to me. How are you leaving that on the stove? And if it's burning, is he just throwing it away? I guess I could just go on. At present, a couple factors complicate this even more. We recently moved into a very old house with terrible ventilation, and the fan for the stove just recirculates air around the kitchen. I'm also pregnant. No. And struggling with morning sickness and food aversions, and the smell of his nasty burnt breakfast makes me feel sick and irritated. Oh my god. I try to stay calm when thinking and talking about it, but internally there is a hormone-fueled rage toward his breakfast. I hate it so much, I despise it. I can't even fathom the thought of like the pregnancy smell thing, because I've never been pregnant, but I can only imagine the morning sickness smell thing, because obviously like when you're nauseous or you have like a stomach bug or something, and something smells so bad that it like turns your stomach, I'm sure it's that times a million because of the hormones and everything else going on, and that would just make me so violently angry. Like, I feel like most people who are like living with a pregnant person or around a pregnant person will do everything they can to make that person as comfortable as possible, just because it's already so difficult, from what I understand, to be pregnant, that you just do whatever you can to make sure that person's like experience isn't any harder. And just to like ignore that, oh my god. Okay, I'll go on. I've tried talking to him about it a couple times, and he says he'll be more careful. He doesn't seem to understand how irritating the smells are to me. This morning, I was in a work from home meeting in my office, and he once again left his food unattended on the stove. The smoke filled my office, and I was struggling not to gag and cough. At this point, I want to demand that he either 1, stop cooking breakfast entirely, or 2, get a blacktop and cook outside so I don't have to smell it. Why I'm thinking I'm not the asshole: he's demonstrated unsafe practices with cooking in the morning, and his burnt food makes my morning sickness worse. Why I might be the asshole: this breakfast has been his daily routine since before we met. It's a ritual at this point. He doesn't see things the way I do. He says his food isn't burnt and that he doesn't really leave it unattended, and that I'm being sensitive. Calling her sensitive when she's literally pregnant with presumably their child? Dude, beat his ass. Don't actually. But oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Again, it's like, I can only imagine, because I've never been pregnant, but like, just the fucking, it's already gotta be so difficult just to fucking exist in a body that's pregnant, and then to just make it harder on her, and then tell her she's being sensitive for having like a very simple request of don't burn your fucking food in the morning, and don't burn our house down, please. Like, why are we not talking about that also? It's such a fire hazard. Like, not only is it a fire hazard, but is he just eating burnt food every morning? Like, is he throwing it away, or is he eating it? And burnt tofu, dude? Burnt tofu and veggies? Oh my god, that's gotta be the most rancid smell. Pregnant or not, that's gotta be a rancid fucking smell. Cooked tofu and veggies is already gonna be a crazy smell. That's gotta be one of those things that you like pretend not to smell and eat it and be like, okay, the taste is fine, but the smell is crazy. And then to like burn it on the, oh my god, dude. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Definitely not the asshole. Fuck that guy. Let's see what the comments say. Off to the comments to see what the experts think. The top comment is a simple, honey, you accidentally left the stove on as you vomit into his lap or his laptop, your choice, might go a long way to solve the problem. That is so fucking vile. Somebody else said, not the asshole, because he shouldn't be walking off and leaving things to burn. It isn't really that long of a process. He should be able to stand by his food while he's cooking it until he's done. And somebody else makes a great point that says, especially now that you're about to have a child, leaving a hot cast iron unattended is a great way to have a horrible accident a few years when kiddos walking around grabbing random shit. That's a very good point. The idea that literally in a few years you're gonna have a toddler running around and he's got his fucking cast iron stove just on, and then he's like gaslighting her about it. He's like, no, it's not burnt. It's not on. I don't leave it on. It's on though. Like, what the fuck are you talking? I hate him. I hate him so fucking much. Yeah, fuck that guy. Now I'm pissed off. All right, next. And she was obviously voted not the asshole for that. Okay, this one says, am I the asshole for showing up to my nephew's birthday party without the cupcakes I said I would bake? First thoughts, probably. A couple of weeks ago was my nephew Sam's 10th birthday. I love Sam so much. I will probably not be lucky enough to have my own sons, so I'm so happy to be able to know him. That was kind of heavy. But I don't have a great relationship with my older brother. He did everything the right way. Good grades, good school, good job, good wife. I've always been jealous at how easily being normal comes to him. I did not do well in school, got in a lot of trouble, didn't finish college, I've picked shitty boyfriends, basically every wrong choice you could make. Suffice to say, he and I are not on the same page, and he doesn't take me seriously. But the one thing he does appreciate is that I can bake. He asked if I could bake cookies for the party in a Spider-Man theme. Of course. Edited to add that Sam did not know. They were going to be a surprise. Spider-Man is just his favorite superhero. Well, then I was laid off. I didn't do anything wrong except be the last person hired. I was devastated and ended up drinking with my roommates instead of baking the cupcakes. It just felt like another in a long line of stupid things. I ended up going to the grocery store and buying cupcakes at 2 different stores, which was hard on the bus but was important. Thank God it's graduation season. I showed up and told my brother up front what happened and apologized. I feel like this person's really melodramatic, to be honest, but I understand being being like really sad that you lost your job and not having the like mental capacity to just make cupcakes for this and going out to get them anyway. So like you still didn't show up empty-handed. You went and got cupcakes. So I don't feel like that's a big deal. He said, "You've got to be fucking kidding me." He was furious. I apologized a bunch of times. I never once made an excuse. It was 100% entirely my fault. He told me that I shouldn't have even come and the cupcakes were the only reason he'd invited me. Whoa, that's really fucking mean. I felt awful and left without seeing Sam. My mom called me when I was on the bus ride home to ask why I would be such an airhead and show up without the one thing I was invited for. She said she thought she raised me smarter than that, and I said, well, I guess not, with an ugly little ha at the end. I accept that I'm fully 1000% responsible for not having the Spider-Man cupcakes, but I think I did at least try to make up for it by getting any cupcakes I could find. I didn't show up empty-handed. I didn't put it on them to come up with a solution. Am I wrong, and was it the wrong thing to do? It does feel like this person just wants people to feel bad for them, and it doesn't feel like they actually want people to like give them actually like, yeah, you're an asshole or whatever. I don't think they're an asshole though. I feel like they're a little melodramatic, but I also feel like their family are fucking assholes for saying that the only reason they were invited is because they're bringing cupcakes and it's like their actual nephew's birthday. That's fucked up. There doesn't seem to be any reason why they wouldn't be invited. I mean, they're saying that they have like a shitty dating history and that they didn't do well in school, but like unless they're severely leaving something out, then I don't know why they wouldn't be invited for like things like that. The top comment on this one is, everyone sucks here. Yes, you screwed up and you probably let down your nephew who seems to be the only member in the family you have a relationship with. But to say that's the only reason you were invited is cruel and heartless. Maybe you need to take time away from your family and work on yourself. Learn to put up boundaries and how to keep with your commitments. And then somebody else under that said, hard disagree. Kid didn't even know about the cakes, so no issue here. She apologizes and acknowledged that she made a mistake. Brother should have shown some compassion and comforted her about the job. Going drinking after a blow like that, especially when young, is not surprising. Mother was way out of order to say anything she did. OP doesn't suck, she's just human. For those people to say that was the only reason she was invited is outrageous. Fuck them. Yeah, I agree with the second comment. I don't think they're an asshole for like going out drinking or being in their feelings instead of making cupcakes for this party because the kid didn't even know. I think the first person's comment is coming from the fact that it was edited in afterwards to say that the nephew didn't even know about the cupcakes and not initially saying that. And the internet ruled her everyone sucks here, but personally I think not the asshole. I think that her family were assholes. I don't think it was her fault. It makes me wonder how late into that post being up that she'd added in that Sam didn't know about the cupcakes, because I think that changes things a lot. Alright, last story. Am I the asshole for blowing up and cursing out a woman for not controlling her kids at my mom's wake? I'm gonna assume not the asshole, but let's read it. This happened decades ago. My mom died of cancer when I was not quite 17. She raised me on her own, so for all my life it was me and her. Needless to say, I was devastated and a wreck, but I digress. Skip to my mom's wake. She was laid out, standard wake setup, her up front, family down the side for people to offer condolences, and a seating area in the middle. Much of the event was a haze to me. I do remember it was busy at times, as my mom was loved by coworkers and friend groups, of which she had many. During one lull in the event, I was sitting contemplating life and how to navigate it without her when I noticed two kids, a girl and a boy, probably around 8-ish or so. They approached the casket with their mom, of whom I had no knowledge of the relationship to my mom, but that wasn't uncommon. She knew a lot of people, but they paid their respects and went to sit down. More people come up, but then it gets slow again. I noticed the kids approach the casket, sans mom, who was talking with others. The kids then walk back to mom. A bit later, they go up again. Then they do the fast kid walk, the one where they want to run but not bring that much attention to themselves. They go right past the receiving line whispering, I touched her, me too. I realized what was going on. These kids were making it a game. I got up and yelled, have some fucking respect. This isn't the place to let your kids run around playing touch the dead fucking body. I feel like it's kind of crazy to bring your kids to a random wake anyway, unless it's like obviously a family member or something like that. If the deceased person's kid doesn't know who you are, like it's kind of weird that your kids are there with you, but I don't know. Everyone went completely silent and looked from me to the kids to the mom. The kids started crying, either from the sudden yelling at a quiet and somber occasion or from getting caught. The woman looked at me like she just sucked a whole lemon, mouth open to say something but thought better of it, huffed and stormed out with her kids. I went out the back door to get some air and alone time to calm down. When I came back, it was back to low-level conversation, but I did notice some furtive glances my way. I always wondered if they were talking crap about me, understanding because I was grieving, or agreeing. The few times I told this story throughout my life, I get mixed reactions. Some say that wakes are no place for kids at all, let alone to be allowed to run around unsupervised. Some say I should have shut up and let it go without making a scene. It's one of those core memories though, one I cringe over when it comes up during sleepless nights. So I'll leave it up to you guys. Was I the asshole? I don't think he was the asshole at all. I don't think wakes are really a place for kids unless it's like family or something, and that's up to the parents. And I definitely don't think kids should have been unsupervised for even a second if they were going to be there. And I also think that like if you're talking shit on somebody for blowing up at kids in that situation, then that's fucked up because his fucking mom just died and he's 17 and they're like running up and touching her as a game. So obviously like cut him some slack for going off about it. He does have an edit that says, well damn, I didn't expect this to blow up like it did. Thank you to everyone who replied. I appreciate all the comments, love, awards, and condolences. It helped me put my mind at ease and hopefully will be one less cringy late night insomnia thought. The top comment on this one says, 17 years old, half orphaned, and watching kids making your mom's body a toy. Like, I get that kids will be kids, but that's why the parents should be on them like a hawk. Could you have handled it better? Maybe, but doubtfully in that state at that age. Not the asshole. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Hard agree. And understandably, this one was voted not the asshole. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it right there. For more videos, you can check out my second channel, Brooke Sharks Bites. I post some beauty and lifestyle content over there. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and you can join my Patreon. I post some extras over there, and I also have a Patreon exclusive Discord. Don't forget to beat the shit out of the like button and murder the subscribe button, and if you're feeling crazy, you can judge the bell. I'll see you soon with another video.